big diplomatic win for India. Khalistani terrorist Harpreet Singh, alias Happy Passia, to be extradited from the US. India talks tough on terrorism at BRICS summit. PM underlines acts of terrorism are criminal and unjustifiable. As deadline nears, India-US trade talks hit a rough patch. All eyes on July 9 deadline. UAE introduces new golden visa for Indians. 23 lakh for permanent residency in Dubai now. And Team India become the Badshahs of Birmingham, win second test versus England, level 5 test series, 1-all. A top focus on India Global this Monday, viewers. New Delhi has achieved a key breakthrough in India's fight against cross-border terrorism. That's correct. Wanted Khalistani terrorist Happy Passia is in fact set to be extradited back from the United States to India. Now, Passia was arrested in California's Sacramento on the 17th of April by US Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE as it's called, after close coordination with Indian security agencies. Now declared a wanted terrorist by the NIA, Passia faces multiple charges related to grenade attacks and assaults on police stations across Punjab between 2024 and 25. Meanwhile, authorities had even announced a 5 lakh reward for information leading to his capture. Intelligence sources say Passia was in direct contact with Pakistan's ISI and also worked closely with Khalistani terror groups like the Babbar Khalsa and Harvinder Singh Grinda's network. Now, his extradition, viewers, is expected to uncover deeper international terror links, and he will be prosecuted under the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act, or the UAPA, once brought back to India. Meanwhile, security officials called the arrest a result of a months-long joint operation involving the Punjab police, Indian intelligence and US law enforcement. Meanwhile, my colleague Anushka joins us for the latest on this. Anushka, a big win for India, and could this extradition in fact expose Khalistani networks in the US and Canada as well?
That's right, Arjun. What we do understand by now is that the Indian agencies have, in a major breakthrough against India's fight against terrorism, have managed to, in fact, extradite, the Khalistani terrorist Harpreet Singh will, in fact, be extradited back to India pretty soon. What we do know by now is that he was working in close connection with Pakistan's ISI, and not just that, he was also working in close coordination with terror outfit Babbar Khalsa, which is a banned terror organization in India. Now, several of the Indian intelligence, Punjab police and NIA have managed to work closely with the US law enforcement, and after that they have achieved this breakthrough, which is said to be a major breakthrough in India's fight against terrorism. What we do know by now is that he was arrested by the ICE in USA, Sacramento, and he's set to be extradited back to India quite soon. The process is in fact ongoing, and soon a day will be declared as to when he will be handed back to New Delhi. Now, the Indian agencies like NIA had announced an award money of ₹5 lakh for any information on Harpreet Singh, alias Happy Passia, who was on the run. He's said to have orchestrated 16 attacks across Punjab, not just in Punjab police station, but also at several different abandoned posts and religious sites in Punjab. There are 33 different cases registered against him. He has been, in fact, also on the run. He has on his social media claimed a lot of attacks that was done by him and his terror organization, which he's in fact closely working in close coordination with. What we do know by now is he'll soon be extradited back to India, and this is a major breakthrough for Indian diplomacy. Remember, the Havur Rana, who is 2611 terror group mastermind, has in fact also extradited back on April, and now Happy Passia is set to be extradited back to India quite soon. So this is in fact seen as a major breakthrough for India in its fight against terrorism. Over to you.
Well, absolutely. It's a major breakthrough, as you rightly put it, a diplomatic breakthrough for India in its fight against terrorism. Thank you so much for getting us the latest there. Anushka, now moving on. Tabur Hussain Rana, a key conspirator in the 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks, viewers, has revealed Pakistan's deep involvement during his first interrogation by the Mumbai police's crime branch. Now extradited also from the US to India in 2025 April. Rana stated that he was a trusted figure in the Pakistani military and was even sent to Saudi Arabia on a secret mission during the Gulf War. He said he completed his MBBS in 1986 from the Army Medical College in Rawalpindi and was subsequently commissioned as a captain doctor in the military in Quetta. He was posted in sensitive regions like Sindh, Balochistan, Bahawalpur, and even the Siachen Balotra region. Now, according to Rana, co-conspirator David Coleman Headley attended 3 Lashkar-e-Toiba training camps between 2003 and 2004. In fact, Headley told him that Lashkar functioned more as a spy network than an ideological outfit. Shifting our focus to Rio, where PM Modi delivered a powerful and focused address at the 17th BRICS summit, emphasizing urgent reforms in fact in global governance and a united stand against terrorism. PM called for a new multipolar world order, one that is inclusive and prioritizes interests of the global south. He further urged reforms in the UN Security Council, the WTO, and global development banks to restore credibility and fairness. Now, turning to peace and security, PM Modi condemned terrorism as humanity's greatest threat. Viewers, referencing the recent terror attack in Pahalgam, he called for zero tolerance toward terrorism, emphasizing that condemning terror must be a principled stand and not a convenience. He also warned against giving silent consent or political cover to terrorists and stressed the need for consistent action worldwide. Meanwhile, my colleague Shivarur has more for you.
The Indian Prime Minister couldn't have been more explicit, couldn't have been clearer at the BRICS meet as far as India's anti-terror posture is concerned. Coming 2 months to the day after Operation Sindoor began, India's new rules of engagement, India pointing a finger in many ways at other BRICS nations and to the world at large, calling upon it to look at anti-terror postures as not a compulsion but something that needs to be done in principle, is in many ways India subtly shaming the rest of the world for its prevarication when it comes to terror. Most recently at the Shanghai Cooperation Organization summit in China, you saw Pahalgam being removed from the joint statement, which led to Rajnath Singh, India's defense minister, refusing to sign that document. There have been other countries that have dilly-dallied as far as being explicit about Pakistan-sponsored terror being the hand behind Pahalgam is concerned. But at BRICS, what the Prime Minister has basically done, I think 2 months after Operation Sindoor, I beg your pardon, is to remind the world that there can be no half measures when it comes to calling out the world's biggest global sponsor of terror, and that is Pakistan, and that every country might have its individual bilateral compulsions or regional compulsions vis-a-vis Pakistan, most notably the United States, and BRICS has its own issues with Trump's America. But when it comes to terror, it needs to be one of principle and not convenience or compulsion or expediency. So this is I read this as India subtly shaming the world for the manner in which it has carried itself post Operation Sindoor. The absence of Xi Jinping for the first time at the BRICS summit, since he took over the mantle in China in 2012, is very interesting. We are told in media reports that there are scheduling conflicts, etc. But considering that China is a very integral part of BRICS, his absence is definitely more than just routine. There is obviously a trade war between the United States and China. Trump has a very dark view as far as BRICS is concerned. Later today, we're actually expecting to see Trump put his money where his mouth is and announce some letters of warning regarding tariffs. He's also issued a direct warning to any countries with no exceptions that are linked to BRICS, and this, of course, includes India as well. So China's decision not to be at BRICS is certainly something that raises international eyebrows. Hopefully, we'll get more information on that. But the global chessboard, the way it has been moving this year, in light of what's happened between the United States and Iran, India and Pakistan, the United States and China, I think it's going to take a while for things to actually settle. This is a chessboard that's very much in motion.
Now, moving on, the much anticipated India-US interim deal may miss its July 9 deadline, with talks hitting a rough patch over key unresolved issues. Viewers, now NDTV sources in fact indicate that no more formal rounds of negotiations are in fact scheduled, and a deal would materialize only if the two sides are able to bridge critical gaps informally in the next few days. While both countries have been pushing for a limited mini deal focused on good trade and tariff reductions, discussions have also stalled over agriculture and dairy access, where New Delhi is unwilling to yield ground. India has made it clear that sensitive sectors like dairy and certain agri-products are off the table entirely. On the other hand, US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent has said that he was confident that the Trump administration would be able to reach deals with some countries before the deadline on Tuesday for steep tariffs would take effect. But he also said that the deadline could be extended to the 1st of August for countries seeking to reach deals. Welcome back. You're watching the Monday edition of India Global. Now, viewers, a review ordered by President Donald Trump appointed leadership of the Justice Department and the FBI have found no evidence that notorious deceased financier Jeffrey Epstein indeed kept a client list of associates whom he blackmailed or conspired with to victimize dozens of women. Now, the department has also released hours of purported footage as part of its review, which officials claim further confirms Epstein died by suicide while in custody in his jail cell in Manhattan in 2019. Now, this contradicts conspiracy theories that have long embraced or even spread by allies of President Trump and others. But what were the Epstein files, you may ask? Well, the Epstein files refer to records linked to Jeffrey Epstein, a convicted sex offender, as we all know, detailing his relationships, potential co-conspirators, and alleged client list of powerful individuals who very well may have been engaging or been complicit in sex trafficking or even abuse. Now, these files fueled widespread speculation and conspiracy theories after Epstein died in 2019, as we've told you. Now, why does this memo matter? Well, it matters because the DOJ and FBI have concluded three key findings. The first one being that Epstein had no client list or blackmailed material on powerful figures. The second key finding being there is no credible evidence that Epstein was murdered and that he died by suicide. The third and final key finding that no one else will be charged from the Epstein investigation beyond Ghislaine Maxwell. Now, this marks the first official U.S. government statement shutting down all remaining conspiracy theories about Epstein's death and any alleged whatsoever network of high-profile abusers. Now, why is this important for U.S. President Donald Trump, one may ask? Well, it's important because Elon Musk recently accused Trump himself of being in the Epstein files, implying some degree of guilt or even association between the two. Though he later retracted his words and deleted his tweet, but the rumor has stuck. Now, this memo may very well act as a clean chit for Trump, officially distancing him from any criminal implication whatsoever in the Epstein saga. Furthermore, this could also serve to diffuse one of the most persistent online theories suggesting Trump was very well involved or even protected by government insiders. Meanwhile, Democrats and some media voices will likely see this memo as a cover-up, especially given it's being released under an administration shaped by Trump allies. I'm talking about Kash Patel, who was once a key Trump ally and also now is the FBI director. And of course, Dan Bongino, also a Trump world figure and in charge of the agencies that in fact produced this memo, which opens the door to accusations of conflict of interest or even suppression of evidence. Now, many on the left will also argue that this memo looks like an attempt to protect Trump and shut down questions just before the 2024 polls. Meanwhile, Tesla's top finance brain is stepping into the political ring. Elon Musk's new America party has just got a powerful number cruncher. Well, who's he? He is not from Washington. He is Vaibhav Taneja. He has been named both treasurer and custodian of records. He is the Indian origin executive currently serving as Tesla's CFO based out of Austin, Texas. Now, Taneja joined Tesla in 2017 and quickly rose through the ranks. First as controller, then chief accounting officer, and finally the CFO. But before that, nearly 2 decades at PwC advising Fortune 500 companies on everything from IPOs to financial strategy. And why did Musk pick Taneja, you may ask? Well, it's simple. Trust and precision have come into play here. Taneja has been Musk's financial gatekeeper since Tesla's early global surge. They're not new to each other. Now, he's also known for his regulatory sharpness, audit accuracy, and zero tolerance for slip-ups. Now, Taneja will manage donations and filing compliance for Musk's new political platform. Now, all of this comes after Musk was very public with his split with Donald Trump. He was upset over what he called insane government spending. Then that's why he proceeded to, in fact, launch the America Party, calling it a challenge to the country's two-party uniparty system, as he termed it. And who's handling the money behind the movement? Well, you guessed it right, it's Vaibhav Taneja. Now, there's a clear signal with this move, Musk bringing the Tesla playbook to American politics. Now, from electric cars to election filings, Vaibhav Taneja is now Musk's quiet political move. With the CFO running the books and Musk driving the message, American politics may very well be looking at disruption, and that too, Tesla style. And in an exclusive chat with NDTV World, Tibetan MP Dorje Satan hailed PM Narendra Modi's support for the Dalai Lama and said that the spiritual leader is a symbol of love and compassion. Listen in.
His Holiness's 66 years of living in exile, all of those pictures that have been put up today, his hoardings now being part of Mahatma Gandhi, Martin Luther King, and Nelson Mandela and several others. It also tells you that His Holiness is not just a leader for Tibetans. He is a world leader, a symbol of love, compassion, and empathy, isn't it?
Yes, and it was very much recognized today by all the speakers. And in fact, this morning, special wish from Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, statement was read out where His Holiness is a symbol of love and compassion for global community. For Tibetan, I think it's very important as both Tibetan inside and outside. He has been like leading the community, building the community in exile, giving the hope for freedom, establishing democracy in exile. So it's very important. And as in his speech today, he mainly focused on his lifelong commitment for the non-violence, the cause of Tibet, not only for that, but for the humanity.
In your assessment, do you think that this is going to change going forward? What do you think will be that change? Do you think it will be now that there is so much of global talk about Tibet as a cause? How do you see that issue that is so dear to all of your hearts, to go back to your motherland? How do you think that could ever come true, if at all?
Yes. It's been almost 70 years of China's occupation of Tibet, and China has military control across the Tibet. But what we know that Tibetans continuously look for respect for His Holiness Dalai Lama. So even though China had succeeded in controlling the land, but it has never succeeded in controlling the mind and heart of Tibetans. That's why the repression has increased. As long as that, the resistance from the Tibetan continuously grows. So, as His Holiness always mentioned, it's the issue of 6 million Tibetans. It's not just the issue of His Holiness. As long as there is a suffering, the Tibetan cause will alive, and Tibetans will continue to call for their freedom.
That's all we have for you this Monday. Take care and have a wonderful day.